All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
The criminal organization known as Orabueze has finally reacted towards the sentencing of Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland. I'm not going to talk too much, but I will have a message to them. But before that message, let us first of all read this very news in details. I'll be reading from one of the Zoom media platforms, Arise News Television. And according to their title, they have said, terrorism, Orabueze loud 6-year imprisonment of Simon Ekpa in Finland. Orabueze loud. They are all in celebration mood as I speak to you now. Orabueze commends federal government for Simon Ekpa's imprisonment in Finland, urges followers to abandon armed struggle for peace. I told the so-called Igbo leaders, the so-called political elites, I told them something which we are going to repeat again as we proceed with this very broadcast. And they continued. The Apex Igbo Sociocultural Organization, Orabueze, has commended the federal government for the incarceration of Simon Ekpa in Finland, resulting in a 6-year prison sentence on terrorism-related charges. I want you to get it right. They said, has commended the federal government, has commended. Orabueze has commended. They are currently praising the zoo government for achieving this feat. Orabueze is, although this Orabueze is the factional Orabueze led by one criminal called Okechukwu Isiguzoro. You all know him, Okechukwu Isiguzoro. So we are going to analyze that, send a very important message to them. And they continued. In a statement on Tuesday, the Deputy President General of the body, Okechukwu Isiguzoro, praised the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, a Fulani, the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Matawale, a Fulani, remember that name Matawale, who happens to be one of the sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria, and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, the Chief Terror himself, for their efforts in dismantling the reign of terror that had affected the Southeast zone. Okay, all right. We continue. This is now their statement. We commend the government for its landmark victory, specifically the incarceration of Simon Ekpa in Finland, resulting in a 6-year prison sentence for terrorism-related charges, Isiguzoro said. He highlighted that the action has significantly reduced the influence of terrorism and insecurity in the Southeast, leading to the cessation of disruptive sit-at-home orders previously enforced by Ekpa. Okay. This development underscores the Igbo people's resolute opposition to armed struggle under the guise of Biafra agitation. We unequivocally condemn terrorism in all its forms and reject any deviation from non-violent self-determination principles. The Igbo nation stands united for peace and constructive dialogue, Isiguzoro added. So, going by this man is telling you that Ndi Igbo, when he says Ndi Igbo, those who are occupying one position or the other that relate to the government of Nigeria led by Tinubu, not the general Igbo people or Igbo population. No, we know what we want. Majority of Ndi Igbo want freedom. At least 95% of Igbo population want freedom from the zoo. They have demonstrated it from all corners of life, including the self-referendum. You understand? Now, this man is unequivocally telling us that those who occupy one office or the other answerable to the zoo government of Nigeria, are in collaboration, that they all join hands together to make sure that Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku, their own brother, gets sentenced in Finland, in a faraway Finland. So, we are going to analyze these whole things, but let's continue reading. Wow. The organization also appealed to followers of Ekpa who were misled into armed struggle to lay down their weapons and embrace peace. You are just talking. You are just talking. Anyway, let's continue first. Let's continue. I love all of you. We recognize that many of Ekpa's followers are educated graduates and young entrepreneurs misled by false promises. This is a renewed clarion call for all armed agitators to surrender and cease violence. The Igbo leadership will advocate for rehabilitation and youth empowerment programs for repentant individuals. Isiguro said, for repentant individuals. For repentant individuals. Ohanaeze Ndị Igbo reaffirmed its commitment to collaborating with security agencies to permanently eradicate insecurity and terrorism within the Southeast, ensuring stability and social progress. First of all, he claimed that, sit at home has ended. It is a pure lie. Sit at home continues until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is freed. Sit at home must continue until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released from the DSS custody. There are no two ways about it. It continues. So, Okechukwu Isiguzoro of, Ohanaeze Ndị Oshi, the factional leader of Ohanaeze criminals, Okechukwu Isiguzoro, collaborating with Fulani, celebrating with Fulani, the Northerners, the Yorubas, including the one that called himself Ifeanyi Ejiofor. I saw him also celebrating, hailing Finland and the federal government. Ndị Igbo kpọrọ onwe fa political leaders are jubilating, celebrating with Fulani-led government of the zoo and its armed, terrorist military and police, celebrating the illegality that took place in Finland. Illegal sentencing of a freedom fighter. This is the first time such a thing can happen in a developed country like Finland, in Europe, where a freedom fighter is imprisoned, went through court process, and gets sentenced. A freedom fighter. It is shocking. It's quite unbelievable how it happened, how they put it up, such judgment. It's quite shocking. So they are trying to tell the whole world that everybody, if you are in bondage, you must remain in bondage. Don't talk about, freeing yourself. We don't allow it to touch. But Finland is busy supporting Ukraine. So we are going to take it easy with them until we see the outcome of the appeal. Because, oh my God, such a thing is quite, confusing. How Finland will accept all the propaganda from Nigeria, including the videos that are sending to them, the audios and everything. They will accept it and imprison a man who is a freedom fighter. It's quite shocking. You understand? But we are going to take it easy with them until we see the outcome of the appeal. I'm telling you the truth, it is shocking. I've never envisaged it. The only thing I was, preparing myself for is to hear that they postponed the judgment, maybe to another month or something. I've never for one day thought of imprisonment, because you cannot imprison a freedom fighter. How did you come to that conclusion? It's quite shocking. I've not come out of the shock till now. I haven't come out of it. So Ohanaeze Ndị Igbo has, told the whole world, let it be on record, that Ohanaeze Ndị Igbo are in a celebration mood, party mood with Fulani and Yorubas because of the 6 years imprisonment of Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. So let the marriage begins. Let the marriage begins between Ndị Igbo and Fulani. By the time Ono Lurudin and Wunya for 6 years, age Simon Ekpa Njoku, which I'm home if I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by next month. I don't know. Obuna Finland, which is a developed country, a civilized country, can imprison a freedom fighter like Simon Ekpa Njoku. Imagine what the zoo, under a timid and a constitution that is suffering from the impunity of the so-called political leaders. Imagine what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to face by next month. And in the Igbo are busy merrimenting, celebrating, jubilating for what happened to Simon Ekpa and Joko in Finland. They don't know what will happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. Let the marriage begins. Let the marriage begins. Before you conclude 6 years marriage with Fulani with this current form, I am what Ali Igbo will turn into. We are going to see what Igbo land will become. We are going to see if Benue will be a child's play with what is going to happen in Igbo land. We are going to see if Southern Kaduna, if Plateau State will be a child's play with what is going to happen in Igbo land. We are going to see how this marriage between Igbo and Fulani is going to pan out. They are going to enjoy this marriage with Fulani herdsmen already stationed, all the four corners of the southeast.